the only guests. We're going to see if this works.
Oh my gosh, are we going to zoom people in?
Who was zooming in?
Well, we'll see.
Is it Ellie Kemper?
Is it Ellie? I wish it was Ellie Kemper.
I want it to be Ellie Kemper.
Oh, that's... Who is it?
Is it
It could only be disappointing if it's
Santa?
not Ellie Kemper.
Hey! Henry!
Oh my god, hi Hen!
How's New York treating you?
We went to see the Radio City Christmas Spectacular.
What was that like?
It is spectacular.
Was it? Oh.
It's incredible, really. Like this incredible kind of show. It's crazy. There's like a 3D sleigh ride.
Isn't there an like a current play that goes wrong cast member in it now?
That's absolutely right. Yeah. So Brent Bateman, who played Robert in on stages, is in it, and he's absolutely. I saw it with Brent on, and he's absolutely brilliant.
Oh.
And it's such a crazy show. They do like 6 shows a day. There's 3 casts. Yeah, it's a fun show, but it's a crazy deal because it's like a radio which is 6,000 seats. They do 5 or 6 shows a day, so there's like tens of thousands of people like going through it.
That's intense.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And you're currently on the Mischief Makers podcast right now.
That's amazing.
That was the face of a man who didn't realise he was being recorded.
How are you guys? How's everything in London? How's Pan going?
It's great. We're feeling pretty festive, I would say.
Yeah, especially since having like our headpieces on.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen them?
We've got decorations today.
Ellie, show me yours.
Mine's just a really stylish hat.
I actually thought it was just Ellie's normal wear. It's the kind of thing Ellie would wear and get away with.
It is.
It is actually. Well, we're starting off because we're going to talk about the whole year of Mischief. And in January, of course, January, of course, the Mind Mangler UK tour began in Swindon.
Oh my god, the sensation.
Yes, we did one preview at the MAC, the theatre attached to Mountview, and then we were in Swindon. And it was a really fun tour. I'd not done a tour like this before, where we were kind of doing like not a whole week in a place. We did like 2 or 3 nights in some places half a week, some places just 1 night, and so we were kind of always on the move, but it was quite fun. It kind of just really felt like every show was a really kind of special occasion. It had a nice kind of feel like that, and we got to go to lots of venues that hadn't been before, and it was it was joyful. It was really, really fun.
Later we're going to talk about Peter Pan opening on Broadway, but what's funny is that in the schedule, in the timeline, Mind Mangler tour finishes after that.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
So you were very tired. You were travelling a lot, weren't you, Hen?
Yeah, we did that crazy. So we did the first leg of the tour. That finished like sort of mid to late February. And then we had 1 week of rehearsal. We went straight from that to do our week of rehearsal that we did in London. And then you guys all went out to New York straight away and started the tech. But me and John went to go and do some more venues. That's when we did like Woking and Wimbledon and places like that. And
the W's.
Yeah, the W. And then we did, and then we followed out, and then we did the first few previews, and then we came back, and then we did like the Lowry, and we did Leeds and Hull and Bromley and places like that, and then we came back out again for the opening. So yeah, we were back and forth. It was pretty crazy.
It was crazy.
Wow, yeah, I forgot that you did that. That's insane.
And then you came back here and went straight back to America again.
Yeah,
so, like,
stayed for about a week.
Yeah.
The Lowry was the first show back, I remember. We did 2 nights at the Lowry, and we arrived, and it was completely sold out, like 1,800 seats. And we got back, and it was a real weird moment of like, we're not in this headspace at all. We've been doing a different show. Yeah. And so John I was standing on stage. I kind of walked, like just before one of the guys were kind of setting up, and John kind of walked on stage. We just kind of laughed because we were like, "This is ridiculous." It's so absurd having just texted a whole other show to be here doing this show.
Yeah,
that is
wild.
That's so wild, and it's amazing, really, because like we were there, back in 2022, and we went to Edinburgh, and that's when it started, and then you'd added like a whole second act. But when I saw the show, I did think it was brilliant. Like you got all of the whole team. You came across so well. Like I wasn't sure that the show would like manage a 2 acts. To be honest, I was like, do you have enough material? But then how dare I question Henry Lewis and his ability
dare you?
to find more material? But it's just brilliant. It was a magical experience to watch you guys.
And how different is
You're welcome.
How different is the show now, Hen, from like when you did it in January to what you're doing over on Broadway now? How different is it?
Not crazy different. I mean, we've changed a few, like, you know, as we always do, like the little references and stuff. We've made it that it's sort of like he's because in the UK version he's always trying to go to Vegas. Would be somewhere different. So he's now the big kind of gig that he's working towards is a gig at the Sydney Opera House. That's kind of the thing that he's really kind of trying to achieve. So there's a few changes like that. But just we've tweaked the style of it slightly. Like he's a little bit less blunt and mean, especially at the top show in New York, because I think it's slightly. I think in the UK people really like him being quite kind of like dismissive of the audience and all that kind of thing, and I think we can lean into that a bit more. I think sometimes there's moments where in New York people are a bit like, oh no, don't, you know, people are a bit nervous about it because they don't really know the character and they're a bit kind of, especially at the top. So we've softened it ever so slightly perhaps in like the bit where we ask people's jobs and people's secrets and stuff where audience members. But generally, I would say, yeah, it's similar with a few trims and additions and stuff.
I know you have to go and you can't stay with us for very long, but thank you so much for joining us
Thanks,
today.
Anne.
So good to see you, man.
Very nice to see you guys, and lots of love. I look forward to coming back and seeing you soon.
Yeah.
And have wonderful shows at Christmas.
Oh, you too.
miss you,
And you, miss
See
you.
you soon.
Miss
Merry
you, mate.
Christmas.
Bye.
Much love, Mum.
Bye.
See you later, bye.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, I really miss him.
I know.
Oh, that was lovely.
That was so nice.
Yay.
I actually am quite emotional now.
Cry.
Oh, cry
Cry.
for the podcast.
Cry
I can
and
do it.
show
I
us,
can do
show
it.
the camera.
Actually, we can just tell them that you're crying.